Now, eye-popping new research has revealed that migrant households received an incredible more than £15 billion in benefits payments from the Department for Work and Pensions during an 18-month period. Let's now speak with the research director of the Centre for Migration Control, Rob Bates, who came out with this incredible new data. Rob, the bill is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. These figures are simply mind-blowing. Talk us through them.
Yeah, I think the real standout figure here is just the sheer amount that we are paying to foreign national households where there is a foreign national that's unemployed. I think many people think that actually universal credit going to foreign nationals, if it is to go so at all, should be going at the very least to those individuals that are in work. But that simply doesn't seem to be the case. We see that about 70% of universal credit payments to foreign nationals are going to those who aren't even in work. The annual figure going to unemployed foreign national households is about $6 billion a year, which is equivalent to the income tax and national insurance paid by 900,000 full-time workers. It's enough to train over 20,000 doctors from the very start of their training to them entering the profession full-time. It's enough to put tens of thousands of police officers onto Britain's streets. And when you see figures like these, you really realise that the British state doesn't have the priorities of the British public in mind when it is allocating capital. I think actually we're at a point now where foreign nationals, the payments to foreign nationals are reaching such an exceedingly high level that we do need to scrap indefinitely to remain the right through which these individuals obtain welfare and actually just have a system where British benefits are going to British people.
You know, we just did a hit on Enfield. Enfield is the top of the league of shame. Almost $4,000 spent on benefits in that borough alone of every person of working age. And when you look at the numbers, £15 billion. Elizabeth, my researcher, did some work for us. 18 months of the pension triple lock. 225,000 Metropolitan Police officers at the starting salary. 7 new hospitals. 350 new secondary schools. 25,000 police officers for a decade, 300,000 teachers for 1 year. This is ridiculous now. This is getting to the point where political choices to give money to people born overseas is directly impacting the lifestyle, the life quality of British people. Rob Bates, is it time to stop these payments altogether?
Hello, I'm Bev Turner. Now, it can feel like the money in our bank accounts at the moment does not keep up with the cost of living, and maybe there's a solution. I'm here today with the CEO of Tally Money, Cameron Parry. Cameron, what is Tally Money?
Well, Bev, with Tally Money, you get a current account and a debit card, but instead of pounds, you use milligrams of gold as your everyday money.
So why gold?
Gold traditionally is a great store of value. It has, on average, gone up at over 11% per annum for the last 25 years against the pound. It's tripled in value in the last decade, and in the last 2 years alone, it's increased by 50% against the pound. Banks' savings products just can't compete with that level of growth.
But this isn't just about gold. This is about a currency that you guys have created at Tally Money. Explain it to me as though I'm an idiot.
So, look, people need to be able to hold their earnings and build their savings in a money that retains its value and remains in their legal control and remains theirs to access, away from government control.
Great. You had me at not exposed to government control.
You should feel safe and happy with your money. You should have peace of mind. The more money you see in your bank balance, and that's the type of thing we're trying to deliver, and give people choice in the type of money they get to use every day.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Cameron. Thank you.
It absolutely is. It indefinitely to remain has to be scrapped. We have to have a system that ensures only British citizens are receiving British welfare. And of course, let's not forget that we have looming on the horizon the Boris wave, who very soon will begin qualifying for benefits as well. It's estimated that over 1 million individuals will be qualifying for the right to obtain benefits. We see a real increase actually in the numbers that are coming into this country and if not obtaining universal credit, at least applying for universal credit. In the last year or so, about every 43 seconds, an individual passes the habitual residence test, which is a test that you have to apply for if you want to obtain universal credit. So there's a clear, huge demand here. And it's not even the case that a lot of this money is being then used in this country. A lot of it, anecdotally, is being remitted back to countries of origin. So literally extracted from the British economy and sent back to other countries such as Pakistan and Somalia. This is a huge problem, and one that, especially at this very difficult time for so many people, we cannot afford.
Yeah, Rob Bates, what we're creating here are dependency ghettos. You look at areas like Enfield, you need to be earning £50,000, £60,000 a year in a kosher manner to be able to afford to live and work in the borough and have a quality of lifestyle that simply is given to you on benefits, free house, free benefits, little proof, if at all ever, that you need to show you're working, little proof or pressure to integrate in terms of learning the language. And the whole system creates dependency ghettos, and the Brits are at the back of the queue.
Yeah, the incentive structure now is completely perverse. It really actually has meant mass migration for the last 10 or so years. Has not been done in any way really actually to benefit the people of this country. It's been primarily to benefit those that are just arriving. And this system, this indefinite leave to remain system, it serves no purpose. It serves no benefit to the people of this country. It is simply an extension of largesse to people who've been here for only maybe a few years and then just simply apply for a very simple, straightforward system and be given such rights, effectively the rights of citizenship, bar a few things around the edges to do with voting. And it's really something that actually is completely outdated. It was created in the 1970s when we had a net negative migration system. It is not equipped. It was never equipped for an immigration system running with over 1 million visas being handed out every year. It is time for us to scrap indefinite leave to remain.
Okay, Rob Bates, this is an incredible piece of research. Thank you for sharing with us here today on GB News. That's the Director of the Centre for Migration Control, Rob Bates. Keep going. Thank you very much. Now, a government spokesperson has told GB News this government is clear. If you come to the UK, you should contribute. That is why we are planning to double the standard time that most migrants have to wait before they can access benefits to 10 years. The London Borough of Enfield has been revealed as Britain's benefits capital in a new analysis of welfare claims nationwide. New figures reveal that nearly £4,000 was spent for every person of working age in the Borough of Enfield. You can see on your screen there proof that 66.3% of social housing in the borough goes to people born outside of the United Kingdom, and only 57% of them are in employment. A huge bill, a huge problem. How do we solve it? Well, I'm delighted to be joined in the studio by the Conservative councillor in Enfield. That is Alessandro Giorgio. Alessandro, welcome to the studio. Thanks for your time. The figures are mind-bending. The amount of money that's been given away in benefits nationwide is crippling. Your borough has the dubious honour of being the UK's #1, if you like, financial black hole. I've got my theory what's going on. You're there on the ground. What on earth's going so wrong in Enfield?
So look, Enfield is £1.1 billion for this year in benefits claimants. But the reality is that while these people are languishing on benefits, as a result because they can't get jobs. So in the UK, we've got 700,000 young people, 1 in 6, that can't get a job, graduates. And since Labour came to office, that number in terms of universal credit and benefits claimants has gone up by 1.5 million. 1.5 million people now on benefits, additional.
But if there's a nationwide problem, why is it specifically affecting people in Enfield? Perhaps we could look at the ethnic makeup of the borough of Enfield. 31% white British, down from 96% in 1961. It's rapidly changed demographically. It's become the highest proportion of Turkish and Kurdish residents in the United Kingdom. It's very, very diverse. And it has to be said, a lot of people are in social housing and not paying their way, trapped perhaps on the gravy train of benefits. The solution to a problem which blights the entire nation in Enfield could be delivered at a stroke if you're to do things such as ceasing benefits for those born overseas, stopping people born overseas getting a social house. Is that a radical choice that could work in the borough?
Well, look, when I go canvassing a lot, and obviously we've got local elections for Enfield Council this May, when I speak to, and as you can tell from my name, I can't trace my lineage back to the Doomsday Book, where my grandparents moved to this country, it was frowned upon to claim benefits. But when I speak to Greek, Italian, Turkish, Indian, Kurdish members of our Enfield community, they are astonished because they want to get a job. They're not the ones claiming these benefits. And they're saying, Alex, this is ridiculous. Since this government came to power, we can't find jobs, our taxes are too high, we can't start businesses. So, that's what's dried up the jobs market. I will never make excuses for anybody that claims a penny of benefits that can go out and work. But I think it's a very complicated picture in Enfield and London as a whole.
It's also worthwhile pointing out that places such as Blackpool, which have ostensibly to be very white working class, have similar problems. And I'm saying this is singularly down to an ethnic issue, but is it worth saying that the multicultural dream isn't working in Enfield?
I think the problem that we have as a nation, we do not take this issue seriously. So if we look over the coming Parliament, this Labour government wants to spend an additional £40 billion spending on benefits claimants rather than getting people into work. Now in Enfield, £1.1 billion a year now going into benefits. Imagine what I could do with £1.1 billion actually creating jobs. Our motto, just so you know, is by industry ever stronger. We've lost light industry, we've lost heavy industry. And the Labour Council now wants to get rid of 1,000 jobs at Cruise Hill. So as far as I'm concerned, Labour is the problem.
Or the lack of labour, the lack of work. But on a serious point, is it time to get tough and clamp down on people just milking the system of so many benefits?
Well, naturally, nobody should want to sit on benefits. It's meant to be a net. That's what the system was set up for. But if there are no jobs and we can't get people into employment locally in Enfield, what else are they meant to do? I'm not making excuses, but as a nation, we've got to get really serious about this.